Boy, do I have some craziness to talk about today. All right, I've got a brand new DCEU update for you guys, and this is going to be kind of weird. First, I have a couple of really small stories I want to talk about first. So we had Batman Day over the weekend, and I was on Facebook, and I do follow DC Comics, Warner Brothers, and all these, DC-related stuff. And up on my feed, I see that DC just replaced their banner, and they had different Batman on there. I'll put it up on the screen. And look who was front and center, Ben Affleck. They have been distancing themselves for the last couple of years with wanting to use Ben Affleck front and center, and it's just another example on how they are definitely moving in the direction of maintaining what Snyder had created and not moving away from it. I have so many people in my comments say, the Snyderverse is dead. It's never coming back. Move on. The Snyderverse, there's no proof that it's coming back. There's more proof that it's coming back than not. So that was pretty cool to see them do that. So that, like I said, that was really pretty freaking cool. Also, we've got Zack Snyder. People say Zack Snyder has moved on. He is done with DC. He still has a very deep love for DC. He constantly posts stuff about DC on Vero. And if you guys haven't seen his posts, you should definitely check these out. And over the weekend for Batman Day, he posted a behind-the-scenes pic of Ben Affleck as Batman from Batman vs. Superman. And again, people are saying these people have moved on, and they haven't. They are very much a part of the universe. So I also kind of put a question out there over the weekend to find out if people wanted me to start covering maybe some of the comic books. I'm a Batman fanatic. I collect all the Batman stuff. I am about a year behind on everything, but I am getting caught up as quickly as I can. So if you guys want me to review that stuff on a monthly basis, I certainly can. I did get caught up on Dark Crisis, which is currently going, and that is going to reboot the universe once again. In fact, at the end of the 4th issue, they just created the multiverse from scratch all over again. And come December, when the 7th issue in that miniseries hits, we're going to have a rebooting of everything. So I will be discussing that as we get closer to it. All right, so let's talk about the main part of what this video is supposed to be about. And I'm of the mind now that Ezra Miller is going to be out as the Flash. And here's my reasoning behind this. And this is just my opinion. I don't know that this is happening for a fact, but I do believe this is where they're headed. So there have been a lot of scoopers out there and a lot of industry insiders talking over the weekend about these massive reshoots with the Flash. You'll get conflicting reports from different YouTube people saying they're in the know. No, they aren't. I would tend to believe some of these people that have some industry insiders in their pocket or know people that they can talk to as to what's going on. And there are some reshoots going on with The Flash right now. Some people thought it was just going to be the 3rd act, but there are rumors that it's also the 1st and the 2nd act, that there are problems with some of the acting with Supergirl and some of the other things that could be possibly wrong with the movie. We don't know what's going on. We won't know until the movie actually gets released, but there are some reshoots being done as we speak. Now, I want to talk about the 3rd act and why I think Ezra Miller is going to be written out as the Flash in this film. He's made some really weird comments that are now on record. I want to say it was Vanity Fair. I didn't go search for this, but one of these reputable news outlets or magazine outlets did an article about Ezra Miller, and he believes in real life that he is the Messiah. This is some weird crap. I'm going to show you this picture on the screen, and you guys can look this over. And I really think this is just bizarre. I don't see him bouncing back from this. I don't think this is going to be some easy, get some therapy and you're going to be a normal type of thing. There is something definitely going on with Ezra Miller. And in fact, he equated that to his character, the Flash, and how he feels that the Flash is also going to be the Messiah of the DC universe and bring everything back together with the multiverse. There's some just weird comments by Ezra Miller, some things going on behind the scenes that we are not privy to. And I don't think that Warner Brothers is going to tolerate this anymore. I honestly believe if they are doing some reshoots that they are working on working him out of the film one way or another. Maybe bring in one of the other Flash members. You could bring in Wally West. They could probably easily rewrite it so that Wally West does take over as the Flash. Who knows? This is all speculation on my part, but I firmly believe he will not be the Flash going forward after the Flash movie gets released. Does that mean they're going to recast? Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do. It's hard to tell what's going on with DC at this stage and Warner Brothers Discovery because they are all over the place. And every day that goes by where we aren't getting some definitive plan, it's looking a little more bleak as to the future. I mean, with the reports, my last video was talking about Warner Brothers Discovery being sold again. And if you do look at their stock, it is extremely low. And if it remains low, there could be a hostile takeover at some point. That is not outside the realm of possibility. But again, nothing can happen for 2 years. So we're going to have to deal with this stuff for 2 years. Now, we've got 3 movies getting released, possibly 4 in theaters next year. But if they don't announce something soon, there won't be anything for 2024. And so we're going to have to see what the plan is. And I think they're going to have to reveal something sooner rather than later. And here's the one thing I don't understand about the stock. Their stock is at an all-time low. I think it's around $12 or $13 per share. But when they started, it was like 26 or 27. So I think it's less than half of what it was when the merger happened. So there's not a lot of confidence in the company going forward. My whole thing with this is they could fix this very easily. They could fix it tomorrow. Just announce Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill. If you went in and announced that Henry Cavill is back as Superman, that stock would rise instantly. It's this wait-and-see attitude of wait until Black Adam gets released. Let's see what's going to happen going forward. And that reminds me, with the Flash movie, there are some reports that Superman was in the movie, but again, you didn't see Henry Cavill's face. And maybe that's something they're correcting at this point, too, maybe having Henry Cavill come back. There are some insiders, some scoopers out there that do say that he is definitely going to be back full-time as Superman and that they are expected to announce Man of Steel 2 early next year with Zack Snyder coming back to direct. I don't know how true that is. These insiders have been very spot on in the past, but whether this is true or not remains to be seen. So I don't know what's going on with Henry Cavill. We don't know for certain that he's going to be back. Black Adam, which comes out exactly a month from tomorrow, is going to be a big indicator. I think if he's in that film, Henry Cavill's actually in it, that is a good sign for the future. But if he's not, and we still have Warner Brothers Discovery not making any announcements, I think at that stage it's probably okay to start getting a little nervous as to the future of DC going forward. And if they don't announce something soon, I think people are going to get very antsy. And this is why the stock is low, because there's no definitive plan going forward, and they can't get anybody to fill that spot, to fill the head of DC. I think Brian DeLuca and Abney, I think both of them could be the right people going forward from this point. But it remains to be seen. But there is definitely turmoil going on behind the scenes with the actors and with these franchises. And Warner Brothers Discovery has to get things figured out soon. They do. And it's going to go a long way to reassuring fans if they can announce something. And Man of Steel 2 or Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 just announced David Ayer's Suicide Squad getting released in theaters, or a actual theatrical release for Zack Snyder's Justice League. So everybody who doesn't have streaming or isn't in the know, to this day, there are people that have no idea that Zack Snyder's Justice League actually got released for people to watch. There are so many people that are not in the know, but if you started advertising this and putting in theaters, I think it would have a much wider universal appeal for people and could go a long way. But we'll see where Warner Brothers Discovery is going forward, but we are still on shaky ground, but I'm still of the mind that some very positive things are going to come in the very near future. All right, what are your guys' thoughts? I appreciate it. We will see you on the next video.